on average in the UK, the menopause starts about 51, but your symptoms can start any time before that. But again, on average, it's usually between 7 and 10 years before, and this is called perimenopause. And this is the bit what can really creep up on you if you're not,
Definitely.
if you're not aware.
So how did you realise?
For me, the first inkling that I got, because forget the perimenopause, that didn't even register, but the first time I realised that maybe I was getting to that age would be when a cycle stopped. And to be perfectly honest, I thought, oh brilliant, if this is it, I can live with it. But that wasn't it, that was just the start of it. What about you?
Yeah, very similar. It crept up on me very slowly, so I'd get what they call brain fog, where I actually thought I was getting dementia.
Yeah, so did I.
That's what it felt like. I thought I was going mad, and then if it hadn't have been for a colleague here at the co-op saying to me, why don't you go on the Aspire Menopause Coffee Morning, I probably wouldn't have been where I am today. So that is where I got the first inkling of, hey, this is actually happening to me now. And I didn't feel like I was going mad anymore.
It's hard to put two and two together, to be perfectly honest. You just do not realise what's happening.
So what were your first steps? Did you visit a doctor? Did you speak to family members?
My symptoms progressed quite quickly once it started. So I suffered from lack of energy, the brain fog. I could be mid-sentence and forget a word. And you definitely think that is dementia. So I went to the GP at that point. I also started to get dizziness, dizzy spells and anxiety. And what I was told was, to begin with, there's nothing wrong. And then it progressed to, well, yeah, you're going through menopause, you just got to deal with it. And as the situation got worse and worse, one doctor told me to just have a hysterectomy, and another one said, well, can't you retire?
That's not, that actually, there is a statistic that talks about people that go to the doctors with perimenopausal symptoms, and they get diagnosed with depression or something else, and it goes undiagnosed. I think for me, mine was migraine, and I got horrific migraines, one after the other, and again I just thought, what is happening here? I didn't understand it. You know, I'm thinking to myself, well, my diet's clean, I'm not eating the trigger point, you know, I'm not eating cheese on toast for every meal to cause these migraines. And again, it was the hormone imbalance that was triggering the migraines. But on the symptom side of it, the symptoms are so wide, again, makes it really hard. So I used to get like these palpitations there, and I didn't understand it again. And I'm thinking, what's that? And that is one of the symptoms. You can get like the palpitations there, you can get dizziness, you can get headache, just normal headaches, tension headaches, you can cry for no reason, ticking any boxes.
What can you not get should be the question.
Yeah. Urinary infections, a lot of people go through these continued infections after infections, and that can be part of it, because basically your estrogen in your body is up and down, it's fluctuating, but every cell in your body has estrogen in, so that gives you an idea of what kind of symptoms you can get. It could be absolutely anything, and the hardest part is because it starts so slowly. You almost like at the beginning you're learning to live with it, so you don't notice. And I think it's when you start to get bigger issues, like for me the migraines and the thinking I've got dementia because I couldn't think straight, that then you start going, oh, there's something wrong here.
How does work support you?
I think for me they've been fantastic. I don't know
me, I just kept quiet and just plodded on. So I didn't say anything.
Is there any policy or anything that they have to follow?
There's a fantastic policy. I mean, I don't think all companies have got it, but in the co-op, we've got the, if you can see the menopause support policy. And running alongside that, you've got the manager's guide to the menopause as well. And then, if a manager's got a colleague that comes to them that wants to talk about the menopause, or a colleague that wants to speak to the manager, we've got a form called the Wellbeing Menopause, and you can sit down with this form and it will talk and make a plan. It's designed to make a plan with the manager and the colleague, and we talk about the impact of the symptoms at work, what you can do as a management team to support you, what would be a reasonable distance. And the idea is, after that conversation, you've got a plan that's workable for the colleague and the business and the management team. I would say, yeah, we really do a lot in terms of supporting colleagues.
So as a colleague that might be going through similar issues, what advice would you give them for next steps?
Next steps, I would say, personally for me, it's education. So, for example, when I went on the Aspire coffee morning and it suddenly everything dropped into place, that was it for me personally. I wanted to learn everything, so I was going to go to the doctors, but I wanted to be fully informed before I went. So I found these fantastic booklets that give you a really honest, balanced overview